Hola, hola. Hello, 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 my beautiful planner diva babes. Oh my goodness, it's been a minute. I cannot believe that I'm filming once again. Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me here today. As always, it's your girl here, Daniela, la planning diva, back at it again with another planning video, and I hope you enjoy my new setup here. I went to the Goodwill and I got a bunch of decor for my little crafty corner, and I played around with some of these beautiful knitted fabrics that I found there. Very much grandma aesthetic, and I love it. I love me a good cozy knit, especially if it's in pastel. So it is currently Friday. I think it's February the 23rd. Yes, February the 23rd, and it is 4:30 in the morning. Your girl is up early, and I am so happy to be here. I took a little break from YouTube and making content, and I miss it so much. But thankfully, I am past my deadlines, and I'm able to come on back here and enjoy YouTube and making content. So I hope y'all are ready, because I have some great things planned for 2024. And we're going to kick it off with a grimoire spread. So if you're interested in seeing how I set up a full moon, spread in my magical grimoire, then just keep on watching. So tomorrow, February the 24th, we're experiencing a full moon in the constellation Virgo. And as always, I'm going to be trying to do some full moon magic today and tomorrow to really harness the power of the full moon and to celebrate it, and also to kind of educate myself and get more familiar with the different lunations or moon events. I'm going to be making a spread in my magical grimoire, and I use a beautiful happy planner for my magical grimoire. So this is I think it's called the Blush Brush planner. It was a vertical planner from a year or 2 years ago, and I love this thing so much. Love my title page, and I have my grimoire separated into different sections here, like crystal, spells, tarot, moon magic. So let's flip to our moon magic section here. And actually, I already have a full moon guide that I set up last time. This was a general full moon guide, and I have already a couple of spreads for the different new moons and full moons. So I have the full moons starting here. I did full moon in Cancer last time with y'all. So we're going to be doing full moon in Virgo now. And so far I've only done full moon in Sagittarius, and I think that might be it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm surprised. I thought I did more full moon spreads, but I guess not. I guess I only have Sagittarius and Cancer, and then we'll make Virgo today. But just quickly, before we get into making the full moon and Virgo spread, let's recap what full moon magic is all about. And to help guide me, I've read a couple of books here and there, and I have a couple of references that I'm using to create these spreads and talk about moon magic in general. The first book I ever read about moon magic was Yasmin Balan's Moonology, working with the magic of lunar cycles, and I actually have the accompanying oracle deck card as well. And I would say this is a good primer on moon magic if you're just getting started. It is a great 101 book on moon magic. And then recently I picked up Living by the Moon, moon-based self-care for your mind, body, and soul. And this one is by Kiki Ellie. And this one is different from Moonology in that it focuses on like the different types of moons that occur in the year. So if you've heard things like snow moon, wolf moon, sap moon, pink moon, strawberry moon, flower moon, these are like the different aspects of the moons that have kind of come down to us from earlier generations. And it doesn't go into astrology, it just goes into those particular types of moons. So this is another interesting reference, another perspective on moon magic and moons. And then lastly, I just picked this up like 2 weeks ago. This is Moon Spells, How to Use the Phases of the Moon to Get What You Want by Diane Alquist. And this is actually an excellent book. I'm really, really happy about this one. And I would say that this is probably like the slightly more advanced version of Moonology. I would say this is the 101 primer, and then this is like your second year in moon magic, and it is an excellent book. This is Moon Magic 201, Reaching My Sophomore Level. And then Living by the Moon is, I would probably say, a little bit more complex than Moonology, but it's still pretty much a primer. I would say it's still like 101 level. So that's just the rundown that I have for my different moon books. So back to the full moon, I made this little spread here, and I think it's just one page. Yeah, it's just one page here. And I made this little guide to aligning with the most powerful lunation. And I'll be using that word a lot, lunation. It's just a lunar event, like a full moon, new moon, different phases of the moon, lunation. And the full moon is definitely one of the most powerful phases of the moon, if not the most powerful phase of the moon. And it's all about release, celebration, and purification. So the full moon usually marks the end of a lunar cycle and signifies an energetic climax. At this time, we are being asked to confront our issues, release negativity, and practice forgiveness and gratitude. This is a time of illumination. And here I made a little list of all the crystals that I like to work with on a full moon. So far, I just have a moonstone and rose quartz. I'm going to continue to fill this in as I feel drawn to different crystals. And the full moon is also a great time to do spell work, and particularly spells that have to do with protection, energizing, love, passion, career, psychic abilities, self-esteem and confidence, good luck, and family-related spells. And also a great time for rituals. And I've listed a couple of rituals here: gratitude, forgiveness, celebration, purification, indulgence, self-care, sleep, and release. And I have on this little box here some full moon to-dos, things I like to do on a full moon. So take a bath, connect with water in any way, do a full body sage or cleansing, cleanse my aura, cleanse my spirit, charge and cleanse my crystals, which are always doing heavy lifting for me. So I like to put those out under the full moon and have them absorb all the full moon energy and get cleansed. I like to make moon water, which is just leaving some water out underneath the moon for the night, and then you have some moon water in the morning. Tarot and oracle practices, I like to consult with spirit, of course, during this time. Meditation, yoga, all great practices for the full moon. And also moon gazing, just sitting outside and gazing on the moon and thinking about the moon and just basking in her glory. And some aromatherapy, of course. So that is my little guide to the full moon. So let us get into making a spread for the full moon in Virgo. And when I first started making full moon and new moon spreads, this is one of the first full moon spreads I ever did, or like lunation spreads I ever did. And I had this idea in my mind that I wanted to do every single full moon in a zodiac sign on one page. And so I was trying to do it in order, and how I did it was I kind of counted out pages, and if I was starting, let's say I was starting like on this page here, and I had like full moon in Aries, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, then it would be full moon in Taurus, and then full moon in Gemini, and so on. And then I counted out until I reached to full moon in Sagittarius, and this is why Sagittarius is like on the back side of a page. But I've decided to move away from that. I think I'm just going to do one page per lunation. So I have full moon in Cancer here. And then if I ever want to add stuff about full moon in Cancer, I have the back to use. And so I think that's how I'm going to do it from now on. So I'm just going to grab a page and, well, I'll just leave it in the grimoire for now. I'll just work on this page right here. And actually, I'm going to take out, no, I'll just leave it open like this because I want to look at these pages for inspiration and to remember how I set them up, because I really like how I set this one up here. Okay, so let's get started. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set up the full moon in with my stamps, and then I'll use my zodiac sticker book from the Happy Planner, which I have here. I have a couple of sticker books to help me with this spread: Zodiac, Cosmic Watercolor, and Sticker Studio Apothecary. I'm going to set up the full moon in Virgo up here. So let's get started. And I'll probably fast forward this part because it always takes forever to do stamps. Okay, there we go. I set up full moon in Virgo here. I really love the look of stamped letters. It definitely gives it that sort of vintage, old-timey feel. Love it. It is a little bit difficult to get them fully straight, and you can definitely see that I get a little crooked with my letters. That O is like threatening to jump off of the page at that point. But that's totally fine. I feel like that's the charm of stamped lettering, is that it's just a little tiny bit crooked. It's a little bit DIY. It's definitely got that handmade look to it. Okay, so we have this set up, full moon in Virgo here. I added some stickers from the Zodiac sticker book, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something similar here, where I put the energy of this lunation is, and then I write down kind of like the top energies that that lunation encompass. So we'll start off with writing that down, and I get those like top energies mainly from this moonology book. I kind of get an idea of what this lunation is all about, but I also get it from just like reading articles online and my own interpretation as well. That's another thing that I would like to stress about like witchy stuff and astrology. It really comes down to how you experience the world and how you experience different astrological events. Sometimes you'll feel like a particular lunation gives a particular energy, and it might not be like a common, like something that you read online or anything like that. But if that's how you feel about it, then that's what that lunation means to you. So I'll just write here the energy of this lunation is, and then I'll be going in with my Uniball Deluxe Micro Pen. Okay, so I wrote down a couple of things, energies that I feel are emanating from this moon, and this is, again, a combination of what I'm reading as well as what I'm interpreting. So the energy of this lunation is finicky and anxious. There's definitely a heightened sense of worry. This lunation is also focused on details. It's detail oriented. It's about organization and planning, which is good news for us planners. It's also a critical and picky lunation. Virgo is definitely that sign that is a little bit critical, a little bit picky, and so we're seeing that energy in this lunation. This full moon also speaks to humility, almost to a fault. Sometimes we're too humble and not confident enough in our own abilities, and so this full moon is definitely asking us to think about whether we have been appropriately humble, whether we could be more humble or whether we could be a little less humble. And then lastly, Virgo is all about service to others. And so this lunation is definitely asking us to think about whether we have been of service to others or whether we have been too much in service to others and we need to do a little service to our own self. So these are the energies of the lunation. Let's see, what should we do next? Okay, so next I have a section for questions and reflections. Okay. So I'll go ahead and write down some questions and reflections. These come from this Moonology book as well. Each lunation, each full moon comes with some questions to ask yourself as well as a message. So I am going to write some of these down. And again, I kind of adapt them and sometimes add on them, sometimes change them. Again, feel free to interpret things and rewrite things in your own words. L'amor és fort i resplendent, has de ser valent. Vull viure d'aventura. Okay, there we go. So I've written down a couple of things here. The first 4 questions here are almost directly from the Moonology book, and then I added a question, and then I kind of adapted the last question here. So my questions and reflections are, number 1 is, have I been too picky, pedantic, or critical of myself or anyone else? Perhaps apologies are in order. So again, Virgo is pretty picky and critical and kind of has a little bit of a nagging energy. So if you've been feeling that way to yourself or towards others, it's time to stop, take a moment to reflect on yourself and your words and your actions, and perhaps to apologize to whoever it is you've been a little bit of a bitch to. Speaking for myself, because I can definitely see this in me a lot, I do have a bit of a critical energy to me sometimes, and I'm pretty good about not letting it out with people, except for Steven. If Steven's watching this, he knows exactly what I'm talking about, and he does often have to remind me to be a little bit less sharp because I can be a little bit of a bitch to my babe, and that is not okay. So I'm sorry, Steven, for being overly critical and picky and unkind, and I'm working on myself. Question number 2 is, have I been humble to the point of underrating myself? So again, humility is a big energy of the sign of Virgo. So while the full moon is in Virgo, it definitely encourages humility in us. It's a time to be more humble if you haven't been humble. It's a time to not be as humble if you're being too humble. It's definitely time to think about humility and the role that emotion plays in your life. Number 3 is, have I been of service to others enough this month? As I said, Virgo is a sign of service, and so it's time to think about whether you've been of service to others. And if you have, whether you've been overdoing it. Question number 4 is, have I been worrying and complaining too much and thus attracting negativity? This is kind of tied into question number 1 because Virgo is a very picky, pedantic, critical sign. And so worrying and complaining comes a little bit naturally to Virgo, I would say. So it's important to kind of check those energies when full moon is in Virgo because those energies are amped up. So take a step back from worrying and complaining and thus inviting more negativity into your life because of those emotions. So this is a good one. Question number 5 is, have I been detail-oriented? Have I been organized? Decluttering is a good activity to undertake at this time. So Virgo is all about organization and details. It kind of goes hand in hand with being critical and picky and pedantic. Virgo really likes organization. Virgo is very particular about everything in their lives. And so you really want to think about those energies at this time because those energies can be great as well as negative. everything is good in moderation. So the positive side about being picky and critical is that Virgo is very detail oriented, very organized. And so you want to take those energies into your spaces and into your life. Now is a good time to declutter both material things as well as habits, routines. Get rid of things that no longer serve you, that aren't bringing joy or are of no value in your life. Clutter definitely makes things difficult to be organized. It's difficult to be detail oriented when there's too much going on. So decluttering is a good activity to undertake. And then lastly, I put down clear energies and reconnect with the earth. Grounding exercise are ideal for this lunation. And while I think that these items are good for any lunation, I think they're particularly important for Virgo because, again, you want to kind of push back against that Virgo energy of being like picky, pedantic, and critical. And worrying too much, anxious. The energy of this lunation again is finicky and anxious. There's a lot of worry around it. So you want to clear your energies, reconnect with the earth, stabilize yourself, and grounding exercises are really good for this. Okay, what else do I want to put down here? Okay, so I have a section for spells and rituals for Cancer. So I think I will write some down here, and then I kind of want to use a Tombow marker to kind of highlight some of these things. I think that would be nice. Some nice pastels. Let's add another Virgo sticker up here. How about that? Let's pull for my Virgo. Okay, so next section is spells and rituals. And before we jump into that, I kind of want to add a sticker from my apothecary sticker book here. I always like to pull for stickers from this thing. Ooh, we could do a little crystal ball. Ooh, maybe one of these moon stickers. That would be perfect. Maybe a plant sticker. Let's see. Ooh, maybe one of these. Maybe this hand here. I love it. Okay, this is a big one. Maybe I kind of want to add some washi tape down here before I add anything. Okay, so I have this. So let's add this down here. Beautiful. And I'm thinking actually I might cover up this flower down here. Like I could do something like this and then cut off the excess here. It feels a little weird to be filming again after so long. I took such a break. Not a huge break, but I definitely took a little bit of a break. And so I'm a little bit rusty. I feel like I am stumbling a little bit here and there. I'm having to repeat myself and say things a little bit. See, I did it again. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like I'm kind of stumbling with my words and struggling through some of this, but it's fine. We'll fix it in post. Y'all, I always get so embarrassed when I accidentally upload like the raw, unedited footage of my videos because I do stumble with my words quite a bit while I am filming. And so it maybe while you're watching this, the edited version, it doesn't seem like it. It feels like, I am perfect with what I'm saying, but I'm really not. I just stumble quite a bit with my words. And the only reason it doesn't seem like that is because I do a lot of editing. I do a lot of work in post to make things a little bit more flawless and smooth. So, and then sometimes I accidentally upload the unedited footage onto YouTube and I'll publish that, and then I'll realize that at some point, and then I'll be so embarrassed because it's so unedited, and like you hear me like repeating myself over and over and over again, And yeah, I've only done it a few times, a handful of times, but I've always been kind of embarrassed when I do it, when I upload the unedited version of my videos. And because I haven't filmed in a while, I feel like I am even more so struggling a bit with my words and explaining things. So please bear with me. Okay, so now we have that, and I think now we'll have a little section for spells and rituals for Virgo. Okay, and then I just added a little box here from Cosmic Watercolor. I'm going to use this for my crystals for Virgo. So spells and rituals for Virgo. And so these are spells and rituals that I like to do, especially in Virgo. Some of them you can do in multiple zodiac signs or in any lunation, but these are the ones that I feel are best appropriate for Virgo. They're the ones that are going to get the most traction with the energy that we feel in Virgo. And I'm coming up with these kind of based on my own ideas and emotions and interpretations. I'm sure I probably have seen some of these written down in articles or books at some point. But spells and rituals for Virgo. I'm going to start off with protection for self and house, because I feel like because the energy of Virgo is very anxious and is worried, I think protection spells would be a good magic to work on the full moon in Virgo, because I feel like that kind of assuages worries and anxieties, is a nice protection spell. And then maybe some self-confidence and self-esteem spells to kind of fight against that energy of anxiety and worry, and maybe self-critique. So self-confidence and esteem, decluttering, and like household spells, cleansing spells. I think also like unconditional love spells, because I feel like the energy in Virgo is again very like critical, a little bit bitchy. And so you want to work on being a little bit more kind and compassionate to other people. So working on unconditional love spells to kind of increase that energy inside of you. Planning and organization spells to help you plan out goals or ideas or whatever you want. And then, of course, grounding spells. And then maybe spells for other people. I'll put spells for others because, again, we're going back to the idea of service. Virgo is the sign of service to other people. So maybe this is a good time to cast a magic for someone else. Pray for someone else. Cast some magic for someone else's benefit. Maybe someone in your life is struggling with something. You can do a little magic to help, send some good energy their way, send some love their way, send some prayers their way. So spells for others. And then in this little box here, I'm going to write the crystals that is associated with Virgo. And maybe these are crystals you want to work with for Virgo. Maybe crystals you want to focus on, maybe have take those out to get charged, clean these crystals, work with these crystals. I don't know exactly what crystals Virgo is particularly known for. I'm sure there's some stuff online that I can look up and write down here. I need to go back and write down my crystals for Cancer. I did look this up. I did figure out what crystals are particularly special for Cancer. And I have a list of them written down somewhere on my desk, and I just haven't gotten back in to write them down here in my grimoire, but I'll do that later on. So this is it. This is the spread for full moon in Virgo, and I really like how it turned out. A lot of information here. I think it turned out super, super cute, and I'm very excited to celebrate full moon in Virgo today and tomorrow. I believe the full moon is technically tomorrow. It might be tonight. I keep on forgetting to like check the time zone that I'm in, but it's either tonight, Friday, or tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get this video up today, Friday, so that y'all have some time to celebrate the full moon. I'm thinking of maybe even trying to share a little bit of what I do during the full moon, like my full moon rituals in like a little full moon vlog. I think that would be super fun. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, spend some time with me here today. I really appreciate it. This video is probably super long because I'm just so unused to filming, and it's definitely going to take a little bit to get back into, so I hope you bear with me. I hope you don't mind the longer videos. And if you're going to be doing some full moon magic tonight or tomorrow and celebrating full moon in Virgo, please let me know what you do to celebrate full moon in Virgo. I love learning from other witchy people, other magic-y people about their practices and their rituals, and that way I learn more and I can incorporate, new ideas into my own craft. So please drop a comment down below if you have any ideas about what you're going to do for the full moon in Virgo. And with that, I hope to see you in my next video. So until then, stay safe. God bless you. Have a wonderful time playing in your planners. Don't forget you are a beautiful, beautiful human being and you deserve the world, the moon, the stars. And take very, very good care of yourself. Until next time, adios.